It was the meeting that I was scheduled to deliver my icebreaker speech. When the Toastmaster of the day called my name, I, George Jefferson, sauntered to the front of the room. Just as I was prepared to wow my club mates with my exemplary oratory skills, I went to open my mouth and I forgot every single word that I was going to say. I started to panic. Luckily, I had my notes with me, and I expeditiously rambled off a couple of paragraphs just to hurry up and get this over with. When I finished, I wished that the ground would split open for me to jump down that cavity to escape my embarrassment. A few minutes later, after listening to my evaluator's 2.5 minute evaluation, I thought, not bad, Johnny. Yes, I made some mistakes, a lot of them, but the positivity and the methods for improvement that the evaluator provided helped convince me that I could grow into a competent speaker. 6 months later, I entered my first speech contest, the humorous speech contest. And to my surprise, I won first place. I advanced on to the area, and to my surprise again, your boy won first place. That year, I finished my speaker journey by placing third in the division. In a matter of 6 months, I had transformed from a verbal Neanderthal to literally a championship speaker. And I owe 100% of that success to the Toastmasters system and receiving a series of effective evaluations. Hello, everyone. My name is Johnny Randolph, and if you haven't guessed it already, today we will be discussing effective evaluations. By the conclusion of this video, there are some skills, some competencies, if you will, that we want you to walk away knowing. We are going to discuss why do we even conduct evaluations, the ability to reinforce a speaker's strengths, and also identify areas of growth. We're going to talk about tips for an evaluation, and we're going to explore a case study to give you an opportunity for some real world applicability. If you have any questions about the material that is being discussed here, drop it in the chat and we will definitely respond. Now, let's get started. I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask. Have you ever received or heard an evaluation within Toastmasters? Hopefully you have. That is probably the motives that is driving you to come to this video. Question number 2. Have you ever heard or received a great evaluation within Toastmasters? I hope that you have. Now, during this great evaluation, was the evaluator positive? Did the evaluation motivate you to want to speak again? Did the evaluator reinforce your strengths and also identify some areas of growth? All right. Now, based on your answers, and what you already know about an evaluation because you've said that you've received an evaluation. And my little story at the beginning of this video, if I were to say that an evaluation can help a speaker to improve, would you agree with me? Well, if you said yes, then you are absolutely right. As a matter of fact, the only reason to give an evaluation, and at the very minimum, the number one reason to give an evaluation is to help the speaker improve. It is not to get credit in pathways or because an officer in your club asked you to do it. Now, I don't want you telling your VPMs or VPEs or presidents that Johnny said I didn't have to do an evaluation. That's not what I said. Of course, get credit in pathways. And of course, do an evaluation for your club. But the moment that you accept responsibility to serve as an evaluator, and it is a service, your priority should shift to help the speaker improve. And every word that you say from here on, it is to help the speaker improve. And that is your mission and objective. In Toastmasters, we do not critique speakers. We conduct an evaluation. And you may say, what's the difference? If helping the speaker to improve, again, that is our number one motive, were a basketball game, this is the difference between a critique and an evaluation. Michael Jordan against whoever he is. Of course, I am kidding, but it is a good representation of the vast disparities between an evaluation and a critique. A critique is simply an enumeration of items that a person may have done well or done poorly, or maybe mix or match. An evaluation, however, it is all about the details. And let's explore the differences. A critique is a critic. Think, I'm a little old, two thumbs up. Remember Cisco and Ebert? For some of my younger people, Rotten Tomatoes. Have you ever stayed in like a 5-star restaurant or something, 5 stars? Those are critiques. A critique, you would use phrases such as a good sense of humor. I enjoyed your speech. Those are positive. They're still positive. This is what you could have done better. That was poorly performed. I didn't understand or speak louder. Are you kind of getting the point? A critique is just simply a statement, a reflection on how the evaluator feels. In Toastmasters, we do not give critiques. We conduct evaluations. An evaluation, see, this guy is a champion, a winner. These are differences. Evaluation does really two important things. It reinforces the strengths of a speaker, and it also identifies areas for growth. Reinforces strengths. Let's explore that a little bit further. Whenever we reinforce a strengths, we should identify at least two things: the what and the why. The what. The what is specifically what you enjoyed about the speaker. Instead of saying maybe you have good sense of humor, perhaps you can give a statement. I enjoyed your sense of humor in your speech. That's the what. You had a good message at the end. One is that is relatable to everybody. That's the what. You really made good use of your space on stage. That's the what. Identify what the speaker did well. Then you have to go to the why. Why did you enjoy what the speaker did? You must provide, or I would encourage you to provide that extra layer of detail. Explain why you enjoyed it. For example, there's a member and he is the best man at his brother's wedding. And he comes to the meeting to get feedback on his speech. When you are reinforcing the speaker's strengths, you might start off with, I enjoyed the humor in your speech. That is the what. Now, the why is the stories that you told about you and your brother really connected with me. I enjoyed the funny situations between you. It helped to for me to see your sibling rivalry and also the enormous amount of affection that the two of you share. I can understand why he is selecting you as his best man. Did we say it? The what? The humor, and then the why is the explanation of the stories that you told, the sibling rivalry, the amount of affection that you have for each other, and then I could see why he selected you as the best man. It was specific, very specific. Identify the what, then identify the why. In an evaluation, we also have to identify areas of growth. I know sometimes it can be difficult. You don't want to be mean to people, or you may feel uncomfortable, or you may be evaluating a person that has more skill than you. It doesn't matter. An evaluation is a Toastmasters superpower. It is how they grow. We must identify areas of growth for a speaker. Whenever you are identifying an area of growth for a speaker, you need to identify the area of opportunity and then the method for improvement. For example, I attended a club once and there was a speaker and he was using his hands extraneous all over the place, kind of like that John Travolta thing from Pulp Fiction. Some of my younger Toastmasters may not know what that is, but my older ones will, right? So almost moving it uncontrollably. It was a distraction. The evaluator rightfully identified that his extra hand movements served as a distraction. The next time that speaker spoke, he stood with his hands folded right across his chest. He didn't move them extraneously, but it didn't help him in his delivery. I do not think the speaker performed poorly. I think the evaluator should have added more value during his evaluation. The evaluator rightly identified the area of opportunity, the extraneous hand movements, but he did not provide a method for improvement. Whenever we give an evaluation, we want to provide that method for improvement. Had I been his evaluator, I would have encouraged the speaker to just drop his hands to the side. That way, he can easily gesture from there and to also be more purposeful in his gestures. If he was saying he did something well, he could give a fist pump in the air, or something that he did not enjoy, two thumbs down. Gestures can just reinforce the message in your speech. I feel if you provide the area of opportunity and then the method for improvement, that is going to help the speaker reach his goal and the evaluator reach their goal to help the speaker improve. Now, let's do some tests to see if you understood the principles that we just discussed. Let's determine if these statements are an evaluation or a critique. You are a great speaker. I always look forward to coming to meetings when you are on the agenda. What do you think? An evaluation or a critique? If you said critique, you're right. It was a critique. It was positive, but it didn't identify the why. It had a decent what, but it didn't identify the why. It's a critique. Let's do another one. You were pacing a lot during your speech. Is that a critique or an evaluation? It's a critique. It is a critique. They provided the what, but they did not provide a why. Let's try another one. I loved your use of vocal variety. The way you elevated the volume of your voice when discussing your first roller coaster ride helped me to understand your excitement. What do we think? A critique or an evaluation? It's an evaluation. The what? I loved your use of vocal variety. The why? The way you elevated the volume of your voice when discussing your first roller coaster ride really helped me to understand your excitement. If you said evaluation, good job. I observed you lowered your head throughout the speech. I recommend keeping your head raised to eye level with your audience. This will help you to retain eye contact. Critique or an evaluation? Evaluation. Look, areas of opportunity. I observed you lowered your head throughout the speech, the method of improvement. I recommend keeping your head raised to eye level with the audience. This will help you retain eye contact. Good job if you said evaluation. Let's do another one. I noticed your use of filler words on multiple occasions. I would like to see you slow down the speed of your delivery to about 100 words per minute. If you lose your train of thought, instead of saying, I recommend just take a pause. Is this a critique or an evaluation? Evaluation, right. Area of opportunity. I noticed you use I noticed your use of filler words on multiple occasions. Method for improvement. I would like to see you slow down the speed of your delivery to about 100 words per minute. If you lose your train of thought, instead of saying I recommend just take a pause. Good job so far. One more. Look at that guy. Isn't he handsome? I could barely hear you, and I sat in the front. So I doubt the people in the back could hear you either. Is this a critique or an evaluation? Critique. Get it together, Johnny, get it together. But we can turn a critique or a what statement into an evaluation. Make it an evaluation and feel free to drop it in the chat. In summary, we do not critique speakers. We conduct an evaluation. An evaluation should reinforce a speaker's strengths by identifying the what and the why. They must also identify areas of growth. By doing that, they will identify the area of opportunity and then facilitate a method for improvement. An evaluation should be positive. A speaker should leave an evaluation feeling better than they did when they first arrived. They should feel as though they have developed more self confidence, they are a better speaker, and they received a timely and prompt learning aid. I recently conducted a evaluation training, and some of the members were a little confused when I said that an evaluation should be positive. Let me explain. They interpreted that being positive aligned with reinforcing the strengths that a speaker provided. They felt evaluations needed to identify more areas of growth. And I let them know promptly that whether you are identifying an area of growth or reinforcing a speaker's strength, the entire apparatus of the evaluation should be positive. For example, if you were trying to establish some financial goals and a person gave you a great tip on how to save money and build your stock portfolio, would you interpret that as being negative? Of course you wouldn't. The same principles apply. With the example of the financial industry, you had a goal, a person identified an opportunity for growth, and then they provided you with a method for improvement. The exact same principles apply to Toastmasters. Whether we are reinforcing a speaker's strength or identifying methods for improvement, the entire process should be positive. There are some ways to be positive in an evaluation. Use the speaker's name. An evaluation is personal. Toastmasters help change people's lives. They help people get promotions and start businesses and write books. The speaker is entrusting the evaluator with their opportunities to reach their goals. It is personal. When you are an evaluator, do not be afraid to use the speaker's name. Good afternoon, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and especially you, Shelley. It's a personal event. When you give an evaluation, come with good energy. When you are in front of an audience and speaking to your speaker, put some good energy in them. Let them know through your body language, through the tone of your voice, that you are interested and invested in helping them to improve. Also, when you are doing an evaluation, you must be honest. Tell the speaker what they did well. Provide them with good methods for improvement. At all costs, do not engage in false flattery. Do not tell the speaker that they did something well when they didn't. Don't tell them that they had great vocal variety when they spoke in a low, monotone whisper. Be honest with your speakers. False flattery can only lead to the speaker not improving, and many times the speakers don't agree with what you are saying, and that can lead to a credibility gap. We must provide methods for improvement. An evaluation is a Toastmaster's superpower. But we should never be disrespectful, be curt, be sarcastic. Giving an evaluation is not an opportunity for the evaluator to behave like Simon Cowell. Always exercise the Toastmasters' core values: respect, integrity, service, excellence. Also, apply empathy. You will one day be in that situation. Would you want someone to be curt with you? Of course you wouldn't. Apply empathy. Our words have merit. A few well chosen words or a few poorly chosen words can make the difference in a speaker returning as a member or never coming back. And if they don't come back, did we achieve our goal of helping the speaker improve? Remember, be honest, be sincere, be empathetic, be positive. Help your speaker improve. We are now going to turn to some tips to help you be an effective evaluator. Tip number 1, active listening. Tip number 2, suit your evaluation to the speaker. Tip number 3, learn the speaker's objectives. Tip number 4, personalize your language. Active listening. Listening is the unsung hero of effective communication. What is the old cliche? God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Maybe you should be listening more than you are speaking. In evaluation, one of the skills that we help to develop is active listening. When you are evaluating, you should engage in active listening, meaning you should give your complete focus to the speaker. You are not multitasking. You are not checking on your phone. You are not seeing any distractions. Active listening involves listening for intent, listening for understanding, listening to provide feedback and help. Active listening will help catapult your evaluation skills to that next level, serving you well because of the skill that you've developed, and serving the speaker well because you can help provide tips to help the speaker improve. An evaluation is not a one-size-fits-all process. You should suit your evaluation to the speaker. One of the great things about Toastmasters is there is a wide spectrum of experiences and types of speakers. Right now, there is a person in your club, maybe that person is you, who is preparing to be the next world champion of public speaking. Or perhaps they have ambitions to be a professional speaker, or they are currently a professional speaker. This type of speaker requires a more detailed evaluation. They may not want to focus as much on reinforcing their strengths. They already know they're a great speaker. They really want the evaluator to hone in on those areas of growth. At the same time, there may be a speaker in the club who's very shy and bashful. And the only reason that they even joined this talking organization called Toastmasters was because their boss told them they needed to work on their communication skills, or they're tired of giving their work to other people to present and they get all the credit. 2 wide, different parts of the spectrum. Now, what do you think is going to happen if an evaluator provides the same level of scrutiny to the accomplished speaker, the more experienced speaker who wants to be world champion or is a professional speaker, to that person that is just starting out? It is going to scare them. Therefore, when you have an evaluation, you should suit your evaluation to the speaker. Tailor it to what the speaker's needs are and what the speaker wants to accomplish. How, you may wonder, can you suit your evaluation to the speaker? Learn the speaker's objectives. How would you learn the speaker's objectives? Meet with them. Ask them. This is the tip that changed my entire evaluation perspective. I did not know it was possible to meet with your speaker in advance, but that is just what you can do. You can meet with the speaker prior to the meeting. You can ask them, is there anything you want me to look out for? Are there any goals that you want to accomplish with this speech? Why are you giving this speech? You can meet with the speaker on the day of the meeting prior to the start of it. Ask the speaker, is there anything that you want me to look out for? What's your goal with this speech? Why are you giving it? What feedback are you looking to glean? Once I started to be able to reach out to speakers, I became a much more effective evaluator. If you are in a corporate club, perhaps you can reach out to the speaker and ask them to buy them a cup of coffee, and you sit down and you talk about your speech, the goals, the objectives, weaknesses that you have. But maybe you don't have time for that. Emails and text messages, these all suffice. Reach out to your speaker prior to the speech. It will help you to get a better understanding of what the speaker is wishing to accomplish and also deliver on helping them achieve their goals. The last tip that we're going to talk about is personalizing your language. I would recommend you refrain from using you statements. Statements such as, you need to do this, you should do this, you have to do this. As evaluators, this is our subjective opinion. We do not know everything about a speech. We are not the end-all, be-all on how to give a speech. It is our opinion. And when you use you statements, it sounds as if you are giving your speaker an edict or a command. And adults just don't like that. It reminds me of when I was a little child and my mother used to always say, you better have your behind in here before the street lights come on. Adults don't like that. It is preferable that you use I or my statements. I recommend. I believe. It is my opinion. My thoughts. I would like to see. Those are some effective ways to help make a connection with your speaker. You are personalizing your language. You are not being accusatory. You are working to help the speaker improve. All right, we have gone through all of our material. During this video, we have reviewed why conduct an evaluation. We have talked about how to reinforce strengths and also look for areas for growth during an evaluation. We've talked about tips for an evaluation. We are now going to turn our attention to a case study. We're going to review an evaluation. This is an evaluation from an evaluation contest in District 40, with the evaluator being the champion for that year, Anita Jones. I would like for you to watch Anita's video and then evaluate her on her evaluation using the methods and information that you gleaned from this video. Drop in the chat some of the things that you identified that made her effective, or even some of the things you thought that made her not effective.
The most difficult and the most easiest subject to discuss is oneself. We have to balance sharing our accomplishments, yet being modest. Being enthusiastic, but fighting our nerves. Tim, you did a wonderful job in giving us that balance. You were able to tell us things about yourself that we did not know, accomplishments that you had, but you didn't seem as if you were bragging. You were just merely breaking the ice on your life. What do I think could have done to enhance the speech? You started here. You talked about your parents, your mother sheltering you. Perfect position to be sheltered. You had your lectern, you had your notes. But I noticed that you never used your notes, maybe once. I would love for you to have lived within your speech. How do you do that? Non-verbally. Sheltered parent. As you go to college, you grab here because you're stepping out on your own. The things that you said in your head about loving Transformers and the knowledge that you had in your head. And we want to see that transformation. So between being sheltered to college, share a story. Give us the description of your brothers so we know exactly what you faced. Give us some experience of being sheltered so we know that experience and we're able to live with you. As you progress from college, I want to see that transformation to Procter & Gamble. Because all of the information in your head, you were able to utilize that to talk to people, combine with the technical expertise in your head, and let them know the solutions to their problems. You did a wonderful job in transitioning verbally and describing all of those things to us. But I would love to have seen the progression that brought you to Toastmasters. When you get to Toastmasters, you're here, you're confident, you know exactly what you've done, you experiences college, different friends. I would love the award you received to go to college. I would love to have understood what that was. You have to understand that everyone is not a subject matter expert on the award. So give a small description of what that is. So by the time you're at the end of your speech, you're at the end of your journey. Wonderful, because you have transitioned and brought us with you. Lastly, one of the things that I really love that you do, they say that an icebreaker is supposed to be the foundational speech. The speech that you gave set the stage for your next 9 speeches. I'm looking forward to hearing humorous stories about your brothers. I'm looking forward to hearing inspirational stories of how you persevered your freshman year in college. Oh, I'm looking forward to hear how you combine your efforts with the friends that you met in Toastmasters and how now you stand as a Toastmaster and accomplished because you did one thing today that everyone else does. You made us yearn for your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like on this video, drop comments in the chat, and we'll follow up with you. I would love to connect with you at any time. If you would like to do the same with me, you can reach me at johnny.l.randolph@gmail.com. And we put it right here for you to see. Also, you can find me on my socials, Johnny Randolph on Facebook and all across social media. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that we added some value to your evaluation experience. And remember, most learning occurs outside of the classrooms or a video. The very best way for you to sharpen your evaluation skills and become an effective evaluator, take the tools that you learned from this video and give evaluations. Give evaluations as often and as frequently as you can, along with giving your speeches. Doing these processes over and over and continuously will help make you an effective evaluator. Thank you.